In this episode of Supply Chain Now Radio, Dave Maddox, Senior Vice President of Sales for nVision Global Technology Solutions, discusses how this top 100 logistics provider is helping companies with global end-to-end supply chain visibility.
nVision Global, for if you've had your head in the sand here lately, is a worldwide leader for global FAP, which, as I learned this morning, freight, audit, and payments, logistics software, and TMS services. It's based here in Atlanta. You got physical offices in China, Netherlands, Romania, India, Costa Rica, all places probably has been to, we'll be going to, right? Privately owned, been in business 25 years, and what I thought was really neat, recognized as a top 100 logistics IT provider by Inbound Logistics for the past 10 years. So y'all have had a little bit of a track record, huh?
Yeah, it's been great. So I just joined the organization in December. I've known Luther Brown, the CEO and owner of the company, for many years. So I'm really excited about the opportunity of coming on board and providing my expertise and working with the team, really in the TMS offering. So that's the transportation management system offering. We call it iMpact. And it's really a global end-to-end visibility tool for shipment execution.
When you say global, nVision has customers in 190 countries, processing in more than 50 currencies. That hurts my head just thinking about that. You're working with 17,000 transportation providers, which is incredible. And you over 100 million transactions annually that nVision's involved with.
Yeah, so our freight, audit, and payment services with the various 250 different customers that we deal with today, we got a lot of transactions going through our system that provide end-to-end visibility. It could be from a manual input or a scanning OCR, or we're actually going through and executing payment for those invoices and auditing them.
So this morning in our prep talk, you talked about you had a big eureka moment when it comes to TMS. Talk about that big lesson learned.
Yeah, so I attended the CSCM3 Jumpstart conference the last 3 days here in Atlanta and learned a lot about what's going on in technology and continuing to understand that technology is really the forefront. Really, you need to be getting technology. You need to invest in technology. You need to understand that it's going to give you visibility up and down the supply chain. And what I think I learned the most is a transportation management system, for a lot of people, to them, it means it manages your supply chain. Really, as I understand it, it's a business enabler. And so it's a total business enabler because it affects every piece of business, not just supply chain.
And with that, let's dive into shippers' challenges. As we touched on earlier in the segment, and we're talking about the on-time delivery rates with UPS and FedEx. You mentioned it doesn't come with challenges, right? So let's talk about some of those. You provided some factoids to me earlier. A lot of it focused on data, all right? So let's talk about how tough it is to have good data in the supply chain these days.
Yeah, it's a key piece is not only having good data, where do you find that data? Our theme at CSCMP this year is digitization, which is all about data. And so the key word we talked a lot about supply chain and folks coming in supply chain. The new word for career word is data scientist. That's kind of the new person that is coming in your supply chain. They're going to be hired as a data scientist. I believe Home Depot mentioned this week that they hired 6 data scientists into their organization to really understand where the data is, what the data means. And so, some of the challenges today that I kind of did some research on is 5% of the shippers today out there say that they've got accurate data. Wow, 20% say they have no data, no idea how accurate their data is, and 30%.
So how do they function?
Yeah,
not really. Like if you don't have reliable data, how can you run your business?
Yeah, it's exactly.
They're just guessing.
Yeah, it's a very, very good point. That's exactly right. I mean, they're really out there just blocking and tackling the best that they can, trying to use bits and pieces of their data, mainly in a manual environment. So really what technology is going to do is be able to grab that data, scrub that data, cleanse it, and make sure that it's utilizing that data to make informed decisions going forward. Artificial intelligence is another big, AI is another big word, and really what artificial intelligence is to be able to take that data and make informed decisions and best practices so you make the right decision the next time around. So because people are always leaving, they're either leaving your company or they're retiring, and so you need to have a repository of those best practices that you can repeat
and
over
transfer
and over again.
the knowledge.
Exactly.
So we need tools, right, to do this kind of stuff. And I was reading that nVision is launching a new business intelligence and data advanced analytics tool, which is going to be a big game changer for your business and your customers, right?
Yes, and we've had business intelligence analytic tools for many years. The speed of the tool, I think, is really the key. And so we're launching a new tool that's super dynamic. I've had a chance to take a look at it, and it's going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. And I think the difference is it takes that data, provides you a very detailed review of that data, and provides it in such a way that it makes sense, and it's so quick. And so I saw 36 million transactions looking at total spend by mode, carbon footprint, return on investment, and get that information in less than a second. I mean, it's just incredible how quick it comes to you, and that you can make that decision.
And you're doing business in a variety of different sectors, from aerospace to automotive, retail, chemical, gas, and oil. What sector do y'all not touch?
Yeah, so we don't discriminate at all. I mean, we're out there to be able to help anybody in any vertical, because it really data is in every vertical. Everybody has a need. Everybody has data, and they need help with that. So we feel like we're very, very configurable, very customizable to any business segment there is.
So back to some of your observations. We were talking about how shippers are struggling to get measurements in place, and perhaps the right measurements in place. Talk more about that.
Yeah, and so the key there is making sure that they get detail around what I mentioned with respect to return on investment, with respect to carbon footprint, which is a big piece in business today, their spend of their business today. And so there's just a lot of different measurements that folks can't get their arms around, and having a hard time being able to figure out where to capture that and where to get that, and once they get it, what do they do with it, and how quick they react to make the right decisions.
Now, when you're working with companies like that and you're educating them, because like you said earlier, that they don't even know half the time the numbers, and you're saying, here's a solution that can help you with this business intelligence, how do you counsel them on the fact that just because you can measure something, is that something worth measuring? You know, like, how do you kind of prioritize what is the numbers that matter most in their business that's going to have the biggest bang for the buck?
Yeah, that's a key point, Lee. And I think what we first do is talk about their pain points. What's their pains today? What's their total percent of spend in their supply chain against their sales and total revenue in their company? What are their customers telling them? And then grabbing the data from that and figuring out the right pattern, the right path, if you will, to execute against that. And so everybody has different pieces of pain. And so primarily in our business, when it's transportation, it's really shipments that they're executing different modes. And what our system does is it's multi-mode. So it's parcel, it's air, it's rail, it's ocean. It's any mode that they've got, and being able to dissect those modes and make right decisions, either getting the proper rates, routing it, consolidating the freight, whatever they need, and then providing full visibility of that in real time as much as possible up and down the supply chain.
And your system is not a cookie cutter. It's highly customized, it seems, right?
Yes, it is. And one of the things that's key is, as we implement our system for each of our customers, is we learn from each customer based on the segment of business that they're in. And so we make necessary changes, those customizable and configurable changes for each of those customers. It allows our other customers.
Everybody benefits.
Everybody benefits from that. And we apply that to more and more and more.
Right.
And
so then you're continually getting best practices, and in kind of a industry agnostic manner that can serve each one specifically.
That's right. And Ben will tell you, because he was in that side of the business, you're only as good as raising your game. I mean, and you continue to keep folks year after year or contract after contract because of the things that you're doing to make your system more robust and raising the bar with your system. And so that's what you got to do. You have to do that. And you do that through internal Lean Six Sigma type processes, and we are a Lean Six Sigma company, as well as external, helping those customers based on what you're seeing and make those changes and applying those changes to benefit the others.
And you can be proactively helping them before they even know there's a problem, because you're learning from different industries.
Well put. Absolutely.
And nVision's growing. You're adding new talent, seems like pretty regularly.
We are. I'm actually hiring myself, looking for a senior director on the TMS side, and so that's the offering that I'm in charge of, and we want to grow that offering for folks on the iMpact TMS. We have over 400 employees today, all over the world, and we're looking to continue to grow the business.
Yeah, Scott's got some fourth graders you might want
to. Kidding aside, we might really. So if you want to learn more about what we've talked about today with nVision Global, or if you're interested in joining the team, check out nvisionglobal.com. Right, starting with an N, nvisionglobal.com. And Dave Maddox, we're glad to have you here today. And real quickly, maybe wrapping up the segment, talk more about the collaboration between CSCMP Atlanta and Apex Atlanta and where we're headed.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. And I kind of thought maybe you'd do that, but I didn't want to steal your thunder. So I'm glad to do that. Scott and we've talked and met now for probably 6+ months, and he really threw something back at me and said, "Hey, there's so many organizations. There's Apex, there's CSCMP, there's Transportation Club of Atlanta, there's work. It goes on and on. And so many of these, we just found out, Scott and I found out the EDGE conference, which is the annual conference that CSCMP puts on. It was in Atlanta last year. It's in Nashville this year. It's the end of September. Well, guess what? The Apex National Conference is the end of September in Chicago. The exact same
supply chain plan.
Yeah, and so we do ours 3 years out. I'm not sure how far you guys go out, but the theme is that there's a lot of organizations that that may overlap, or folks, people in supply chain or any business have a very tight schedule, and it's hard for them to be able to, much less get onto a link or go to an actual organization and spend 2 hours, whether it be a tour or a program. And so, shortness of this is, we're partnering. We want to partner with many organizations to do a collaborative effort to put a program on together. And so Ben and Apex and I are doing the one on February 16th. On April the 16th at SunTrust Park, Apex, CSCMP, and Georgia Manufacturers Association are going to do digitization small and mid-sized companies. And it's going to be a 6 p.m. Program. And then we're going to watch a ball game afterwards and have a hot dog and a drink. And so we're excited about that. So, yeah, we're really excited.
And that's part of what makes, I think, Georgia, Atlanta specifically special in the marketplace. And Ben, you could probably speak to this better than anybody, is this level of collaboration as part of the culture of, I don't know if it's a Southern thing, a Georgia thing, an Atlanta thing, but that's part of our secret sauce, right? When you're going to market and trying to woo companies here, that's part of what they get, is that this isn't a cutthroat, dog-eat-dog world as much as in other markets where we're all trying to help each other and raise all the boats.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think it's a unique partnership that we have here. It's this kind of pay it forward attitude that Atlanta has, and it's a great thing that we all work together, and that's what makes our ecosystem here thrive so well. Is working together on a lot of things and leveraging each other's knowledge on subjects. So we're happy to have as many partnerships as possible here where we help each other out. So I think you hit the nail on the head as far as what our ecosystem looks like and where it's going from here.
That's why we're the heavyweight champions that wear the belt, right? So, but Dave Maddox, thanks for joining us here today. But more importantly, thanks for all your collaboration, your leadership in the supply chain community. Again, if you want to learn more about nVision, nvisionglobal.com. And of course, you can check out CSCMP at atlantacscmp.org or cscmp.org as well, right?
Yes, sir. Thanks, Scott. Thanks for having me.
You bet.